Upper90studios.com.
Upper90studios.com. Today's podcast number 27 for Sunday, March 16th, 2014.
David Moyes is a football genius. Utter humiliation as Liverpool visits Old Trafford.
That was the funniest banner I have ever seen in the history of football.
It was the greatest for me, too. Man, I lost it. And, of course, I ended up in the coughing fit, but it was worth it.
Let's get right into it.
Yep.
Why did David Moyes change the lineup?
Fix that. Why David Moyes? Just get rid of some of those words.
Just why David Moyes?
Yes, of course.
Last match against West Brom, which they totally dominate, he has Smalling, Jones at the back, and all of a sudden he puts Vidic in. The guy who just signed for Inter Milan mid-season, which is fine. You can make that agreement and sign in the middle of the season, but don't come out and go in public and start tweeting photos of yourself signing a contract. Have you seen that?
No.
There's a picture of Vidic signing the Inter Milan contract, and he tweets it. He puts it up on Twitter.
That's awesome.
That's terrible. He's your captain. You should not be signing. You should not be boasting about your new team wearing the Manchester United shirt.
He's just the first of the rats to jump ship. You know what's all going to happen. And you know what? If you're Manchester United management, there's only one way to get around that or get over that. So it's to get rid of that David Moyes.
So that's my first concern was Smalling being left out for Vidic, the slowest defender against the three most potent, lethal attackers in the league. And then up front, let's talk about up front. Van Persie, horrible against West Brom. You take him off. All of a sudden, the team is playing like a team. Beautiful passing exchanges. And you put him back in there next to Rooney.
Where's Kagawa?
Where's Kagawa? Where was Welbeck to start? He deserved it. He scored a beautiful goal last week. I just think that Rooney works best with a fast, athletic partner up front. Mm-hmm. Making runs behind the defense. It takes the pressure away from Rooney, so it gives him a little bit more space. His best moments are when he drives the ball forward alongside someone like Kagawa and Mata.
Right.
That's what he does.
Right.
But when you put him up front with Van Persie, all he does is fight for the top spot. As soon as you take out RVP, suddenly he starts playing for the team. Why? Because he's selfish.
Well, you're burning all your best players. Mata is the prime example. What a friggin' waste having this guy in the middle with no one to pass to. That's
what I'm saying. And of course, Van Persie is better than Welbeck individually. But Welbeck adds a balance to the team and a partnership with Rooney that works way better going forward for this team. I would drop Van Persie, but Moyes doesn't have the strength. He's not a man. Am I being a little harsh?
No.
Well, it's a little frustrating.
You keep playing Januzaj or whatever his name is. I can't stand that kid.
Manchester United fans are infatuated with this kid. They think he's better than Ronaldo. And let me tell you something. He can't shine Ronaldo's shoes. He can't beat a player one-on-one.
I'd rather have Giggs up there every game.
He loses possession. All he does is put his head down. He doesn't pass the ball. He never looks up. He loses possession. He doesn't score. He hits it into the row Z every time. He can't shoot.
Well, I look at this whole game, and all I can think about is I didn't see one clear-cut goal opportunity from United the entire game at home.
It's so frustrating to watch, and this is 100% Moyes' fault, and I can't believe how ridiculed and humiliated they were at Old Trafford for the fans. It's so humiliating.
And I'll say this, Suarez didn't have a particularly good game.
No.
If Suarez was on his game, this would have been a 6 or 7-0 blowout, and I would have loved it.
It should have been 7 or 8 to me.
I mean,
they had so many chances. Should have been 4 penalties.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
32 minutes, penalty for Liverpool, handball in Raphael. He had just been shown a yellow, and he goes in and handball in the box. What do you think, yellow or no yellow?
It's definitely not a yellow card, but I don't know. It's one of those calls, right? It could go either way. I mean, it was just
very obvious.
It grazed his hand.
It was so obvious. How do you not call it? I can understand it going either way.
Yeah, me too.
And then minutes after that, Gerrard was upset at that tackle by Raphael. So what does he go? He leads in with the elbow on Fellaini.
Oh, yeah, that was ugly.
That was nasty. When I saw it live, I thought that could have been a red. That was a nasty cut, and Fellaini was never the same after that.
He had one intent, right, on that play, and it wasn't to get the ball.
No, he led in with his elbow, and he got the job done because he completely took out Fellaini for the rest of the match.
Well, that's the kind of call that needs to be looked at. in the Premier League, right? It's okay, sure, he got a yellow, but what was the intent behind that? Just watch that replay. You'll see it.
But either way, I thought Gerrard was brilliant. But...
Oh, yeah. He was better than anybody else on the pitch.
Well, let's compare Gerrard to someone like Michael Carrick. What is he doing?
Did he play?
Liverpool completely dominating Manchester United in terms of quality, intelligent possession, distribution of the ball, movement. Those two teams aren't even in the same league as far as I'm concerned.
Nope, aggressiveness, everything.
And what does it come down to? Tactics.
Yeah.
It comes down to David Moyes. You don't need Pep Guardiola to tell you that Carrick and Vidic against Sturridge, Sterling, and Suarez. A 10-year-old kid playing FIFA has more common sense than David Moyes. Beginning of the second half, 10 seconds in, you know what's going to happen. It's just so easy. Right off the restart, a ball over the top, and Sterling is running onto it. Vidic looks like he's stuck in quicksand with his bionic knees. It's like candy from a baby with Vidic. He's so slow. Against Sterling, seconds after that, another penalty.
Again, yes, it's a penalty.
Phil Jones. It was Phil Jones' push.
Definitely you can call that. But if it had gone either way, I probably would have been okay either way.
Either way, no changes. Do you think Moyes could have made a change at halftime?
If he'd have sent himself to the stands and brought down Ferguson, it would have been better.
I think that would have been the best change that they could have ever made. 51 minutes. You can see that by now Van Persie has completely given up. He's just walking now.
Yeah.
He puts no pressure on Steven Gerrard, who had a brilliant game, but he was given so much space because Van Persie wasn't closing him down. And where's Welbeck? Where's Kagawa? You're losing 2-0 at home. How long does it take to make a substitution and make something happen? 74 minutes in, now he decides to bring in Tom freaking Cleverly. Brilliant substitutions they were, because 2 minutes later, Vidic against Sturridge, another penalty kick.
Yeah. Very bad call.
Second yellow, red card. I'd like to hear Vidic's opinion on that. See if he tweets another picture of himself. When the season is collapsing, you jump ship. Not only do it jump ship, but you boast about your new team.
I would.
While still wearing the captain's armband. I would. Get out of my studio.
No, I would.
Get out of my studio.
I would never want to be associated with David Moyes or any of those people if I'm Vidic.
That's true.
It's horrible.
Philip Neville is going to tell Van Persie what to do. I'd love to see what's on Philip Neville's clipboard.
Right. Right after that, there was another penalty.
There should have been a fourth
one. Yep.
Sturridge completely owned Carrick, and he got his feet taken from under him.
Yep.
It should have been a yellow, should have been a PK, and the ref was generous. He was being generous to Manchester United at that point. Raphael should have had about 5 yellow cards.
Gerrard really did deserve the penalty hat trick.
They started hearing oles from the crowd at that point.
And then Suarez with brilliant freaking move. I mean,
what a goal.
Point range.
Oh, no, you're talking about that, the save, the De Gea save? What a save.
He definitely doesn't deserve to be on this quad, that's for sure.
It was interesting to hear Tim Howard's opinion on that, because he's a good goalkeeper himself.
It's horrible to listen to him during the whole game.
He might as well have just puked on the mic. It would have been better than whatever he was saying.
It's an impossible save. It was point blank. It was a great shot. Suarez walked over to him and basically probably told him, how did you steal that from me?
Yeah, that was a world-class save.
Yeah, but then he got it back, right?
It was a minute after that.
Great finish.
And at that point, you have Carrick, who has moved now to replace Vidic as the slowest player in the park.
How about that last substitution?
Rio Ferdinand for Juan Mata.
Loved it.
It's just you couldn't make it up. Tom Cleverly comes in for Fellaini, and Rio Ferdinand comes in for Juan Mata.
Well,
it's just beautiful. Did you see?
White flag goes up. Who cares about Manchester United? They're a mid-table team.
They're not mid-table, but they're
pretty close.
They're Europa League team.
They're at 9 losses for the season, which they've never lost more than 9 in the season.
In the history of the Premier League.
It's going to happen right here. This season, that's it.
They still have to play City.
Yep.
That's going to be in like 2 games, I think.
Yeah, it's all over, and it will be the worst season they've ever had. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens with David Moyes.
I thought Manchester City was going to lose. I think it was less than 10 minutes in, Vincent Kompany with the red card, and he's so annoying to me. He grabs the player. He just pulls him down, and he's the last man. It's an obvious red, and he goes up to the ref, and he intimidates, and he bullies him, and he doesn't get any punishment for it.
Well, all that matters at the end of the day is the 3 points, and they got it.
They got it. And David Silva with a beautiful shot. Yeah. What a beautiful left-footed goal outside the box. And then you have Chelsea, who are pretty much in the same position. They have a red card. And what happens? They folded. They collapsed.
Let's talk about that red card.
I think he went down way too easy.
Yeah.
And William, they were both just fighting for position. Ramirez at the end.
What an idiot.
And at a time. He's going to get a 3-game ban, but what do you think?
It should be more. It should be 5 or 6
He
for
was
what
nasty.
he did.
It was
that was
dirty.
horrible.
And but then Agbalnahor grabbed him from the back, I guess, by the neck.
Well, what did that do? That only got Mourinho kicked.
Mourinho goes and he tries to have a conversation with the ref at the halfway line inside the pitch.
I just want to talk to him for 5 seconds. I want to talk to the guy for 5 seconds, and he gets me off of the pitch.
I must shut my mouth.
I don't want to be in trouble. I don't want to be in trouble, and so I don't say anything.
I have no comment. I must shut my mouth.
The referee did his job, and he goes home. And
he do.
And we just
we go home.
I don't want to say anything.
We go home.
It was the greatest 5 minutes of him saying nothing ever. But it's Mourinho. That's why we love him. Because
he do. Next Sunday he's back. We do, and we get sent to the stands. And they don't have to talk to the TV.
That was so freaking awesome. It was so, because the guy's like, it's better you don't ask me these questions because I don't want to be in trouble. And I always, every time I talk, I get in trouble.
And every question was like poking the needle at the bull. You know what I mean?
Every time.
Every question was like, how much of an injustice, the sending off of Willian.
Well, I don't want to speak about the cards because, I don't want to be in trouble.
Yes, but then the referee sent you off to the stands for no reason. Can you explain why?
It's so wrong. Come on. I just want 5 seconds.
And this loss now means that if Manchester City wins all their games in hand, they'll have control of the title.
Yep.
Just a few minutes ago, Arsenal.
They got the result.
Tottenham, Arsenal, and Tottenham completely demolished by Benfica midweek.
I can't stand Sherwood personally, but...
Oh, he's way out of his league.
God, well, so anyways, Arsenal gets a good result. Manchester City gets a good result.
Liverpool.
And Chelsea blew it.
Moyes had the blueprint. He saw how that last game ended with Kagawa, Mata, Fellaini, Rooney, all interchanging, playing a fluid passing and moving. And what does he do? Vidic. Van Persie up front fighting with Rooney. And you leave Kagawa out, Smalling. And then this is what you get. And then you get the banner. You can now reply to us by recording your own voice at the touch of a button. Let us know what you think. Upper90studios.com.